and so fantabulous. So this platform has hosted various shows, various events, and various daily events, and a little bit of learning and other stuff as well. So yeah, proud moment, definitely, yes. And as they say, no, to clap you need both the hands. So for DC Live as well to thrive and to be successful, we need everybody to chip in and be a part of this here and there. And that way, what happens is that this becomes even wonderful. Like today, I've been listening. I couldn't be a part of it because I had another meet actually.
Okay.
Otherwise, I was joined a little bit earlier. But I was listening in, and so fantabulous. Actually, a lot of this, what do you call, trivia questions and those kind of stuff was, and so there was life back I felt today. So that is how this platform should be. I know every day everybody cannot find time. So, but whenever we can allot some time and do some sort of, we all capable, I'm sure, the next team, where we can bring in something and share, right? And so
yeah, Saronan. Got it. Thanks,
yeah,
Saronan. Thanks.
So I'll not take more time. I keep talking. Okay, so you can. So fabulous.
I would love to say, like, no, you can keep talking with Saravanan when you join every day at 2:00. So he is there with us on the live, say, like DC Communication. He spends 15 minutes on English session, so people don't miss it out. So any comment from other DNX leader? We have Mani sir also here. Hi sir, good evening.
Good evening, Srilekha and everybody.
Good evening,
I think it's a great occasion for DC Live, and like Sarvan said, I also recollect the day one when Saloni made the first call or something like that. Then I think we also had the social audit report launch live. I don't know which year it is. That is another thing I recollect about DC Live. And typically, all of you know, any startup, right? They say that many startups don't survive beyond 2 years. So the 2 year is the threshold. 2 to 3 years is the time where the startup's fate are decided. And it's true for many companies, even including Desiku when we started, but I had very tough time to go past that thing. So the fact that DC Live is done 3 years clearly tells us that it is here to stay. And of course, it has changed form, it has changed its goals, which is also another good sign for evolution. So that's a good sign I see for DC Live. And we have to be moving ahead even with a lot more passion and reach as we are today, because we need to keep in touch or keep up pace with what's happening on the business side, at the same time not lose touch with our people. So the medium remains valid even today. And I also see a lot of people willing to support, but we need to be coming up with more creative solutions for engaging the maximum number of people, because we will be adding more people to the organization and more people who may not be even working from our centers. And for example, I don't know, Ashwin has gone to US. Now, whether we've reached out to him to be part of some of the DC Live so that he can sort of share some of these initiatives, those kind of things we need to keep an eye. So I would request the DC Live team to keep an eye on what's happening on the business side, because we also have business units. So whether to even design and launch DC Live programs, each business unit, that's something which you guys should take a look at it. And at the same time, not lose touch with people who are joining us for the first time, the new people, the freshers who are still not clear about the organization. This is an excellent channel. I already see a lot of IT awareness sessions being scheduled. So that's a very good sign. And of course, R&R is already there. So naturally, I see a lot of scope for expanding this reach. And I will also request everyone in this call to think about ways and means. So it's just not Srilekha's responsibility to make it popular and all of that. So while she's taking the lead in terms of putting it together, but it is equally responsible for all of us to see how we can utilize this in our own way. Very small it could be, but it can be very creative and very useful, very exciting for your own teams, especially for the newcomers. And one last thing from HR point of view, this is something which HR has been given as an additional bonus, because HR will have to still function without DC Live also. But now that we have a platform and there are people who are engaging in many ways, how do we make it even better, and what kind of metrics we need to track? It may not be very pleasant to look at in the initial stage, that's fine. But we need to get into a situation where we are able to design metrics and follow that very, very carefully, so that we definitely get to see a much better version. I still believe, at least in the last 3 years, we have seen, I mentioned it earlier also, I have not heard from any of the organizations around us, including the NASCOM members, an initiative like this which is taken and then sustained for so long. And the proof is what we heard from Hapagloid when they visited Kolu last year. Right? So all the elements are there. So all the best for a greater success. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So we are waiting for Saloni, ma'am. I think there is a trouble in mic, I believe. So she'll be joining with us shortly, sir. Yeah.
Sure.
So any comment from other DNX leader? We have Mohinder, Marita, Mohan Raj. Anything you would like to share on this occasion, please?
Yeah, hi Srileka.
Hi, Mohinder.
Yeah. So from my memory, I think DC Live was a blockbuster during the COVID time. Right? That is when DC Live took birth, and we were running competitions which center will get the vaccination done the fastest time, etc., etc. And we had rewards, recognition. So that is when it all started. And then after that COVID, I think now we have this quiz competition, singing, dancing, shows, etc., etc. I think, so apart from this, I think definitely we can add some knowledgeable sessions as well. So let's say, for example, financial literacy, or something which, even we can explain about our insurance policy that we have, right, employees. So these things, many have the insurance policy, but they don't know how to use it, when to use it, where to use it. So such sessions where, let's say, for example, about PF, how do we withdraw PF? How do we... so these are many things that as many new employees will not know where to check, how to withdraw, etc. So these are the common knowledge sessions that HR team or anybody can participate and share it among everybody. So every crewmate gets, gains knowledge about it and they can utilize it, because many may not know, right? So we can have such sessions regarding the insurance policy or many policies of the crew itself. So the payroll policy, etc. So these things can be definitely, I think, shared in DC Live. Yeah, thank you, DC Live.
Great, Mohinder. Thanks. I also remember, related to this awareness show, you have done a couple of shows on DC Live. So thanks, Mohinder, for engaging us like that with that shows. Thank you. So any other comment from others? Karthik, Raj, Arun, Shan.
Hi, Srileka. This is Mohan.
Hey, hi, Mohan. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. What about you?
I'm great, Mohan. Thank you.
As Mohinder said, we started this DC Live program for vaccination, right? So we are announcing that center-wise data and who are winning the first prize and second prize. This is our primary goal. So after that, we are doing great job. Almost 2 years, lot of sessions and the valuable sessions like HR sessions, induction and communication sessions, even IT awareness programs. So a lot of things we are connected and getting a lot of information from DC Live. So I wishing you to all the DC team to continue your effort and hard works to enjoying us and joyful and informative to us. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Mohan. Thanks.
Okay, hi Shileka. As I told you earlier, it's going to be a very wonderful 4th year for DC Live team, and I can say that DTouch is the one which utilized DC Live a lot. Okay, let it be like any new version startup or anything related to DTouch. We utilized DC Live a lot, so that is really great. And whenever if we want to update something related to DTouch, we are using DC Live as a great platform. So that's what I can remember. And also the important events, whatever we would like to do with DC Crew. Okay, we have also always utilized it. So I want DC Live to groom up more, and wish you all very best.
Definitely, Shan. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Hi, Srileka ma'am.
Vishnupriya, I could hear echo, I believe. I think there should be a 2 meet locked in your side.
And now it's
Clear, Vishnupriya. Yes.
First of all, thank you for DC Live, who was created on the channel. And this is the only platform to help me who is Vishnupriya and what they will be known and what is the talent hidden of Vishnupriya. So this is the only platform to showing myself, and I interact to all the centers and I pick the people to my contact. And the first time I was talked to Veena ma'am for the T-Touch program launching. So that is the great thing I remember now. So I directly talked to ma'am also, and everyone know who is Vishnupriya. So this is like only help to improve my communication and also my talents. And in every Saturday, which was conducting the quarantine time, in every Saturday, which was conducting one program, who are the peoples know their talent and showcase on the DC Live. I was participating in every week and I showed my talents, and it was helping to growth my career also. So thanks for DC Live once again. Thank you.
Thanks, Vishnupriya. Veena, would you like to say something? You're in mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It is indeed a pride moment when we are celebrating the 3rd year of DC Live. Lots of ups and downs, lots of pulling and pushing from from Sri Lanka to get people on the show. Some really wonderful shows in the last 3 years. And when I got an opportunity to be on one of the stages for another organization, when they were talking about how they do things differently for their people and how they influence the lives of people, I just gave them a small glimpse about what we do through DC Live. And everybody was like really shocked. They have a lot of helpline numbers which they connect with organizations outside theirs, where people can connect and talk to people, or there are groups within the organization whom they can talk to and all. But they don't have a platform like this where people can join, they can talk to each other, they can celebrate some happy moments along with the families on this show. So a lot of things which we do differently through DC Live, I don't think, like how Mr. Mani said, none of the organizations have so far. So this is a USP which we have. So I think definitely we have to build on it. And as he rightly said, I think this is one tool which HR has, which we can use much more effectively. So I think we'll have to do that in this year so that we will be able to make use of this platform better. As on today, we were supposed to have Saloni, the founder of Desi Crew, to be part of this event. She agreed to be, and this was in line with something which we spoke a few days back, where she was telling about about Reboot Wellness, which he is very much part of, and how they actually help people in the society to come out of any anxiety issues, any kind of personal issues which are related to mental wellness, which they will not be able to disclose even with family members, friends, or colleagues. So they need somebody external to talk to, etc. So Reboot Wellness is actually helping people to come out of the mental illnesses they have, or to come out of any kind of trauma that they were in the past and things like that. So she wanted to be part of this program and speak a little bit about it, but unfortunately somehow we are not able to connect with her right now. So we may have to reschedule this particular program. However, she said that she would want to take a chance and basically talk about this, because we have more than 1,400 plus people right now with us. and there could be at least few people who would want to talk to somebody about these kind of issues, which they may not be able to talk to comfortably with anybody else. So they also have a free helpline number where you can just call up and speak in a language that you're comfortable, because I did tell her that some of us may be comfortable to speak in the local language, either Tamil or Kannada. So they said they have counselors, they have therapists who will speak to you. So it is just a phone call away. You can just talk to them and you can discuss with them any kind of issues that you could have. So she was about to join and she was about to give us more details on this program. But unfortunately, she's not able to join right now. But definitely, we would want her to join sometime in the future on one of the DC Live shows and give us more awareness about this whole initiative that they have planned. She sent me the link, but however, we would want her to talk about it and then send across the link to everybody so that you can use this platform to talk to people and get some guidance, get somebody to talk to, and see how you can come out of any kind of emotional trauma that you're going through and things like that. So, yeah. So I think we'll not be able to connect with Saloni as on today, but let's see, we can do that sometime in the future. We got to have many more shows like this in DC Live. I got to see some of the programs from TN Palayam, from Kapu and Kolu and other locations. I think a wonderful show put up by all the people in the centers. I hope, Shileka, you've recorded these sessions because I missed seeing a lot of programs.
Yes, Veena, I've recorded.
Definitely played sometime in the future, but a lot of teamwork, a lot of efforts from the entire team. So thank you for making this third anniversary of DC Live much more lively. And yeah, thank you everyone.
Thanks, Veena. Thank you. So it would be great if anybody want to share your comment about DC Live, because we had Kollu Mohinder shared here. Any participants apart from DNext, if anybody want to share your thoughts, you can do it live. Nidhi, Dinesh, Trisha. Okay, how was the show? I could see there is a participants here, right? People who have joined from 1 p.m. to now. So anybody can share the comment on that. So many people from the floors, they joined live. So there were more than 50, 60 participants from each center when the center show was there on the live. So anybody would like to comment on that?
Hi,
Trisha. Hi.
Yes, ma'am. So one of the memories that I would like to share about DC Live that we all started, I think, in the time of COVID, and I remember that we were talking about like how one should get vaccinated. So I think the main aim, what we started off with, was to spread awareness about vaccination. And now this DC Live has turned into an employee engagement program. And talking about today's event, so I think in our college days, we used to participate in all the dance competitions, beat singing competition. But once we entered into our corporate life, I think somewhere we have missed it. I mean, we all got so in. Okay. Yeah, Saloni ma'am is here.
Okay. Thanks, Trisha. Thanks for sharing. We'll come back. Yeah, Veena, yes. Hello?
Yeah, hi Srileka. Sorry for the interruption. Saloni just said she'll be joining in a minute.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, she'll be joining in some time. So yeah, just hold on.
Sure. Trisha, would you like to continue? Yeah, Saloni ma'am is here. Hi. Hi, ma'am.
Hi, I'm so sorry I got delayed. My apologies.
Fine, ma'am, but we have more participants eagerly waiting for you here on live.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, we know over to you, Veena. Thank you. So I would like to call Vismaya here. Hi, Vismaya.
Yes, Srilekha, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. We have gathered here to celebrate DC Life's third anniversary. Let's begin this program with a small prayer song by Santosh from Kollu Mangudi's Art Processing.
Santosh, are you there? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thanks, Santosh.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Santosh, we can hear you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Santosh, yes, it's audible, it's clear.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, start பண்ணலாம் ma'am.
Yes, please.
Okay, ma'am. கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா தேவி. கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா தேவி. கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா. பற்பலரும் போற்றும் பதிமையிலா புரியில் பற்பலரும் போற்றும் பதிமையிலா புரியில் சிற்பம் நிறைந்த உயர் சிங்கார கோயில் கொண்ட சிற்பம் நிறைந்த உயர் சிங்கார கோயில் கொண்ட கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா தேவி. நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா. நீ இந்த வேலை தன்னில் சேயன் இணை மறந்தால் நீ இந்த வேலை தன்னில் சேயன் இணை மறந்தால் நான் இந்த நானிலத்தில் நாடுதல் யாரிடமோ. நீ இந்த வேலை தன்னில் சேயன் இணை மறந்தால் நான் இந்த நானிலத்தில் நாடுதல் யாரிடமோ. ஏன் இந்த மௌனம் அம்மா ஏழையன கருள ஏன் இந்த மௌனம் அம்மா ஏழையன கருள ஆனந்த பைரவியே ஆதரித்தாளும் அம்மா ஆனந்த பைரவியே ஆதரித்தாளும் அம்மா. கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா. அஞ்சனமையீடும் அம்பிகையே எம்பிரான் அஞ்சனமையீடும் அம்பிகையே எம்பிரான் கொஞ்சி குழாவிடும் வஞ்சியே நின்னிடம் கொஞ்சி குழாவிடும் வஞ்சியே நின்னிடம் தஞ்சம் என அடைந்தேன் தாயே உன் நான் தஞ்சம் என அடைந்தேன் தாயே உன் நான் ரஞ்சனியே ரட்சிப்பாய் கெஞ்சுகிறேன் அம்மா ரஞ்சனியே ரட்சிப்பாய் கெஞ்சுகிறேன் அம்மா. கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா. எல்லோர்க்கும் இன்பங்கள் எழிலாயிரங்கி என்றும் எல்லோர்க்கும் இன்பங்கள் எழிலாயிரங்கி என்றும் நல்லாக்கி வைத்திடும் நாயகியே நல்லாக்கி வைத்திடும் நாயகியே நித்திய கல்யாணியே கபாலி காதல் புரியும் அந்த நித்திய கல்யாணியே கபாலி காதல் புரியும் அந்த உல்லாசியே பூமா உனை நம்பினேன் அம்மா உல்லாசியே பூமா உனை நம்பினேன் அம்மா கற்பகவல்லினின் பொற்பதங்கள் பிடித்தேன் நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா தேவி நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா தேவி நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா நற்கதி அருள்வாய் அம்மா. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Santosh. It was very great, wonderful. I think everyone enjoyed. Thanks for the song.
Indeed, Sri Lekha, it has been a blessing to our gathering. We are grateful to your gift of music that honors God. So, Sri Lekha, would you like to brief us about DC Live's anniversary and the story behind it?
Sure, I'll just take it short. Thanks, Vismaya. So, good evening to all. Good evening, ma'am. This is our third anniversary. We are stepping into the fourth year. So to start about the memory, DC Live, hope you remember, ma'am, you are the one who launched the DC Live very first beginning of DC Live. So we started this DC Live for the vaccination purpose. So it was like 100 days, 100% vaccination for all the people. That's how it started like. So initial stage, and we also completed the goal on time. So we made sure that people were vaccinated, not only the crewmates, and also we made sure that the entire family is also vaccinated like. That was the primary goal of DC Live. So with that, we also made sure people from the different places are gathered and sharing the information and connected from different places like. That was the thing. So slowly after the vaccination, we made sure that we are using this platform for the crewmates, like engaging the HR activities and awareness shows and other more activities for the crewmates. And we're also happy to continue DC Live for we didn't see any of the organization have this kind of platform where the people can join and share their thoughts on this. So that's how the DC Live, what we would like to share with you. Thank you. Thank you, Vismaya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sri Lekha. It's now time to introduce Saloni ma'am to this crowd. Dear crewmates of AC Crew, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our visionary leader and exceptional entrepreneur, Ms. Saloni Malhotra, the founder and director of AC Crew. With a remarkable journey that blends with innovation and social impact, Ms. Malhotra continuously inspired and motivated the entire team to pursue excellence and innovation. In addition to her role at AC Crew, she's a co-founder of Reboot Wellness, a mental ecosystem with 500 plus therapists pan-India. Reboot provides support for stress, anxiety, depression, relationship issues, amongst others. A board member at NGO Goonj and a member of Board of Governors at IIT Mandy Catalyst. Her dedication to social entrepreneurship and rural development is truly inspiring. And under her leadership, DC Crew has set a benchmark of how businesses can thrive while making positive impact in a society. Ms. Malhotra has conceptualized and built an integrated ecosystem and facility for health and wellness through Reboot Wellness. This Gurgaon-based venture offers free and paid services addressing stress, anxiety, depression, and addiction, amongst others. Over 24 months, she has recruited a team and brought the idea of self-sustainable mode, making mental health care easy and affordable. Please join me in welcoming the dynamic, inspiring, and energetic Ms. Saloni Malhotra. Ma'am, we would like to hear it from you. More about Reboot Wellness.
Thank you so much. First of all, my sincere apologies to all of you. Getting delayed. I'm sorry I kept all of you waiting. I'm just very happy to see all of you in the 3rd anniversary for DC Live. I'm just very happy to see the screens that are on and the faces that I can see. And Veena knows, as do others, I take great joy and happiness in just visiting and being with all of you as much as I can. And I'd love to visit again. After Desi Crew, I decided that I wanted to set up something which is, again, in healthcare and with a little bit more impact. We work with people who need support in stress, anxiety, relationship issues. And what we are doing, what we've understood is that in India, people need more accessible and affordable care, which means that people need, like avenues where they can come and talk about whatever troubles them, because sometimes our friends, our family, people around us don't understand what we are going through. Thankfully, the internet allows all of us to find a community and find a tribe that resonates with with us. And with that, we are launching something called Reboot Support Groups. The support groups are where several people, 7, 10, 15 people come together to discuss one issue that is troubling them. Often, some problems that hurt us a lot, we are not able to talk to our closest friends, but we are able to open up to strangers and talk to them. And just the act of talking and someone listening to us can help us heal. So I'm really happy that we're launching the groups right now this week. And like it was mentioned, we have a range of therapists. So I'm happy to answer any questions about Desi Crew, about life, about reboot, about anything that questions that you have. I'm sure all of you, watch things on social media, on YouTube, whether it is health related, personal, or otherwise. I'm here to talk to you and interact with you today. And just want to say how grateful I am, to be in your company, genuinely, just to be in your company, even though it's virtual. But really, really happy to see all of you. Thank you so much for this time. And I would make it interactive. Any questions, happy to answer. And again, my apologies for being late. I hate being late. Something just got caught. So,
okay. Ma'am, can I open the floor for questions now?
Yes, please. Absolutely.
So team, anyone who has questions, please come forward and you can get it clarified. So Kirti Raman, Shakti Priya, have you raised your hands because you have a question?
And there might not be a clarification. You just want to say something or talk about something random. We can have that also.
Yeah, I would like to start. Saloni, I think it is very important for people to just talk about any issues they have. So I think that is the most important things. I think we are all caught up with so many things in our daily life. So sometimes we don't even have time to talk to our friends, and there could be issues which you may not want to discuss with your friends also. It could be like you would be just thinking, how would they judge me? What would they think about me? And things like that. So when we spoke last time, when you told me about the support group, I really felt it is something which is very helpful because I've heard of such things in bigger organization where they have a helpline where people can call, discuss any issues, like even if it is like a cancer patient or generally if there is some patient in your house, treating a patient at home also is a difficult thing. So the kind of frustration that somebody goes through, and then if they are working, they come back to work, and a lot of things that go on in their lives mentally. So if they have somebody apart from the family whom they can just vent out the problems with, so somebody who is just there to listen, I think that is really helpful. So I think some of the organizations do have some helpline like that, but in Desi Crew, we've not had anything like that. So the other day when you spoke about it, I personally felt it is very helpful. And you also said there is a medium through which we can speak to people in the local language. So if somebody wants to converse in Tamil, then they can do that as well. So if you could explain a little bit more about what the process is. How couldn't people just call that number? What is the process? And I think that would be great.
No, absolutely. So there are two modes in which you can connect to a therapist who can help you. One is a support group where 7 to 15 people in a group discuss one topic that is concerning. Supposing we have someone at home who drinks a lot, it's very difficult to deal with a person who drinks a lot. We have somebody who is an ailing patient. They need so much care, attention, and as family, we know we want to give it, but sometimes it gets very difficult for us as well. So these groups are on different topics. I will send the link. People can join the topic of their choice. We have a group for young men. We have a group for young women, separate, because men face different issues, women face different issues. We have a group for caregivers. We have a group for leaving alcohol or cigarette or whatever. And then we have on anxiety and trauma. The other way, Veena, to talk to somebody is if you want full confidentiality, you only want to talk to one person. You don't want to be in a group. Right. You want that care. Typically, we do paid services, and only for college students, we do free services. But for Desi Crew, I have requested my team that we open up the same thing for free for all of you. I'm going to leave the link over here in the chat box, and I'll send it to you as well. You can go over here and you can just upload your Desi Crew ID card where it asks you for a student ID card. You can upload your Desi Crew ID card. Veena will not know, Manivandan will not know that you have asked for help on this helpline. As an organization, we will not share your name or your employee ID with anybody, but you can talk to a therapist. These therapists, initially you may find someone in English, but we are also figuring out a way where we can connect you on the paid helpline. We know how to do language. On the free helpline, we don't know how to do. We don't segregate by language right now. We'll do that. So right now you may get somebody who speaks English, but this is a free counseling session that you can book with a trained therapist. And trained therapist means somebody who's done a master's degree in psychology, understands the subject, has gone through 6 months of work, in a clinic as well. And they can talk about and help you with anything. Why is therapy important, really, right? So if I were to just describe it, all of us are travelers as we travel through life, right? As when we travel, some of us carry less luggage, some carry more luggage, right? Some of us like heavy, we'll also take a coolie. We don't know how to pick our own bags, right? And some of us will carry one little backpack and just saunter. The people who travel with less luggage often enjoy their journey much more. And mental health is exactly that. When you carry a lot of baggage, emotional baggage, you make your own life difficult. Right? So therapy helps you leave that baggage and say, "Ye nahi chahiye. I don't want this. Let me leave this behind on this station." Right? This station could be when I'm getting married. It could be when I have a child. It could be when I finished college. Whatever that station is, I can leave this behind. I don't have to carry it with me. That is what therapists help you do. They help you gain new life skills. Right? I'll give you a simple example. I took therapy in 2012 when I left basically. It was extremely difficult for me to step down and hand over to money. Right? Very, very difficult for me. I had built everything from scratch. I also left Chennai and I came back to Delhi. Even though I grew up in Delhi, it was a culture shock for me to come back to Delhi. I love South India. I know my soul is South Indian. I'm not from here. I don't like this place at all. I want to come back whenever given a chance. So I was dealing with a lot of difficult emotions at that point of time. And I went through therapy and I just learned new life skills, which my parents couldn't have taught me because they also didn't know I needed those skills. Right? So therapy just teaches you new life skills, which your environment hasn't been able to teach you, but you need those. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Saloni. Yeah.
No money.
Hi, Saloni. Vinod here. I have a quick question.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you, Saloni?
Very well.
Okay, so I have a quick question. I think, a lot of unattended mental issues are because the person doesn't reach out to the therapist, because they probably think that it is just a passing emotion and I'll come over it. But I think it is very important for us to know, or to have the judgment to when I think I need someone's help, right? And that is where a lot of these things go unnoticed and then result in something that we don't want. So can you talk about some indicators where we can probably say, though it is not science, right? I mean, the identification of it might not be science, but there could be some indicators that can help the crowd here to identify or make the difference.
Very, very good question, Vinod, and it's a very important question. When we go through physical pain and go to a doctor, right? We need to have fever, then we know we should go to a doctor. We fall, we have a scab, we have an injury, that is when we know we need to go to a doctor. But in mental health, those signs are missing. In mental health, typically, the first sign is when you cannot sleep properly. If you cannot sleep properly for days together, that is the first sign that you need help. The second sign is isolation. If you or your loved one is isolating themselves, they don't want to go out and meet friends, they don't want to sit down with other family members and talk, they are avoiding everyone else, right? They come to office, but they don't want to talk to anyone in office. That is a second clear sign when you're isolating. The best friend is isolation in mental health. Everybody wants to just be away. Nobody can understand me. Nobody knows what I'm saying. Only I know the pain that I'm going through. When you have consistent thoughts like that, that is a second sign that you need help, or your loved one needs help. The third sign when you know that you need help is when things that you enjoy doing, otherwise you stop doing. Whatever it is, you may enjoy cooking, you may enjoy gardening, but you don't want to do even that. That is a third sign that you need help. So these three signs typically help you, and if you have more than two of these signs, definitely you need help.
Thanks, Saloni, for your answers.
Anyone else for any question?
Saloni Mani here. Can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
Can you also give us an example or a few examples? Of course, the not the names and the confidential data. How people have benefited through Reboot, and how long does it typically take for someone to realize the difference?
Very good question again. How long it takes depends on how hard the individual works. If somebody is overweight and they say, how quickly can I lose 5 kilos? You can't answer that. It is similar. It is how much you're willing to absorb and open up and be vulnerable. So I'll give one case study. This was a individual. They were a very happily married couple. They'd been married for 12 years. And I think 6th year in their marriage, they decided that they want to travel the world. They sold their house. They started traveling the world. They wanted to be travel bloggers. All of us dream of those lives. They made it happen. They traveled the world. COVID happened. They were stuck. Post-COVID, each one of them lost one parent. So they were, grieving. So they were stuck. They couldn't do their whatever profession they had chosen. And the second thing was that they lost their parent. They were grieving. In that, their relationship started suffering. They came to us when they both decided they don't want to live in the same house. 3 months of extensive therapy, and they were very open. They were very open to absorbing. This was the fastest I've seen somebody recover. 3 months later, they started living together once again. And it is 2 years since that day. They are still living together. They've reconciled, their issues. And this is, I'm saying this is the fastest 3 months. Otherwise, people, can take longer also. It is how fast you want to learn the lesson and you want to make changes to your world. Some people don't understand anything over a lifetime as well. So.
Okay,
And I
Saloni.
have other stories that I can share, but yeah, sorry, Vinod, yeah.
Yeah, so I just had a follow-up question to the first question. The first being the fact that people are not able to identify, or they are in denial, right? Because they think it can't happen to me.
Yeah.
The other thing that stops people from reaching out is the social stigma attached to this whole thing, right? So how do we, if there is anybody in our families or in our friend circle, if we see someone like that and they are worried because of the social stigma, how do we overcome that?
Yeah. Very good question again. Social stigma pre-COVID was a big issue. Post-COVID, it has come down. There is a lot more openness. There is a lot more conversation. There is a lot more awareness. And that's why, you can see people around you who are seeking help. So it's not that difficult. That stigma comes down because of that also. If someone still feels that there is stigma, which there is, there are different ways that you can convince them, and you don't have to convince them. Actually, you just have to show them that therapy is available. There is enough material online. Any ailment that you put, there is enough material online. If they, you can share videos. There are lots of books. You can share books. You can share poetry. You can share things with people about how others have gained from therapy. And it is only, like, I can tell you, Vinod, you should work out. I can tell you every day, Vinod, you should work out, right? You have cholesterol, you have BP, but you should work out. You're not going to listen to me till you don't feel it from within. And therapy only works when you commit to it. Just the way fitness only works when you commit to it, right? So you can show them and share information, but they will do it in their own time. You can't force.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else for any question?
Hi, Saloni. This is Shan.
Hi.
Hi. So I have one question for you. Like most of because I'm handling detach, so most of them are having an issue in balancing the work life as well as the personal life. All right. So what kind of suggestion you can give? Because I can say the upskilling myself will come under personal. I don't think it's official one. Right?
Yeah.
Even though if it is going to be like helping us for us in our career, I think it will come under personal stuff. So what are the suggestions you can give?
Sure. Very, again, interesting question. I was at Paytm, and one day in one of our town halls, someone asked Vijay, our founder and CEO, said, so what about work-life balance? There is no work-life balance at Paytm. He's a stand-up comic, so he said, we believe in work-life balance. Monday to Friday you work from office, Saturday, Sunday you work from home. And that is the balance that you have. So, but having said that, I think work-life balance is something we need to look at holistically in our life. There may be days or weeks where you have to work really hard. And there may be days and weeks where, caretaking or other responsibilities or yourself, you take, that takes over.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whatever you do, whether it's upskilling or whether the work that you're doing in office, it's ultimately for your own self. It is not really for the company. It is for your own self. It's building your skill set, your resume, your bank balance, your ability to deal with people. It is actually adding to your life. So if you feel that you don't want to add a certain skill set, you may choose a different life for yourself, right? So ultimately, work-life balance, I feel, is a question we have to answer for ourselves. Today, if somebody wants to become a parent, they may say that, no, I want to reduce my number of hours. And someone who is really raring to go may take 2 courses for upskilling. And the promotion will come to the person who puts in the effort at the end of the day, right? Because that is how that life works. So it is a question each of us has to answer for ourselves. at the time in life that we are, what is our priority for this year? If we decide, we will always respond to that question, for ourselves, and not small chunks of time, but we should take it into account that life is a long process, so we can prioritize whatever we want for ourselves for that year. I know for a fact that we know colleagues who've needed time off and have been for so long, they've been there, and that time off was given to them because that was the most important thing in their life at that point of time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Saloni, I have another question. Manisha.
Yes.
See, this consulting for mental illness, at least for people who have been watching Hollywood movies, look like a very Western concept. So, in this, from your experience, is there any Indianness into this whole exercise, both on the caregiver and the people who seek help?
Yeah. Very interesting. And everyone thinks of mental health from a Western lens because India always had a sense of community. But having said that, there is a lot of, I would say, Indianness because their mental health is about finding your community and finding skill sets which matter to you. Sometimes there are things which are so personal that you don't want to discuss with someone else. And I think a lot of literature, Vedas, a lot of Indian manuscripts also talk about counseling or counsel, right? You counsel somebody who is wiser than you on a certain aspect of life. And this is literally just that. You are going into a session to counsel someone who knows a little bit better than you about how the human mind works, right? What we do is we divide mental health into 4 buckets. The first bucket is healthy people. Most of us are healthy most of the time. We don't need any counsel. Something is in front of us, we take that decision and we move ahead. The second bucket is when we are slightly injured. Something small has happened. I lost a project today. I probably lost a loved one in my family. I just had a really bad day. I lost a lot of money for some reason. I had a bad day. I will be able to deal with this by talking to friends and family, eating my favorite food, going out to my favorite place, just sitting in the company of friends and family. This is injured, where you can easily recover. The next category that we put is the orange bucket, where more than 2 things have happened to me. Like in the case that I was sharing, COVID happened. They lost the most beloved thing in their life, which was their, passion. They lost a parent each, right? Now they are both injured. They don't know how to talk to each other. The wife is saying, why can't you understand that I need this right now? The husband is saying, I've sold the house, I've lost my mother. Why can't you understand that I need love and care? Right? Both are demanding the same thing in the relationship, but neither one has, their tanks are empty, they can't give it. At this point of time, because you can't understand each other, you go and take counsel of a professional maybe, right? And then the 4th bucket is the ill bucket, where you need mental support and institutionalized support, which is something where the medical profession takes over. So, Mani, to respond to that question, like I said, in Indianness also, we take counsel of our elders. If elders are available, we can take their counsel. If elders are not available, these are professionals who have been trained to help you deal with that emotion particularly. And I think a lot of Bollywood movies also have now started talking about it. I think there are a dime a dozen examples that romanticize a little bit of counseling. But support groups help a lot, that I can tell you. They are very, very... Like, I started a support group when I was 18 years old, my first support group, when I had first gone to college. And these support groups that we've started are inspired from, that time in my life. And they really helped me deal with a new city, new people, everything, leaving home, all of that.
So another question may not be, you can decline to answer if you can't.
Sure.
Because one of the things, because I am 50 plus now, is worried about this social media's impact on people, young people, and in general the society. So among the people who seek help, is social media one of the reasons or instigators, or does it accelerate sort of drive towards that? I mean, is there any evidence or any data?
Yes, there is enough and more data that social media now needs a lot of regulation. The government in the US has also filed cases against Meta, against Instagram, that they knew that this will be addictive and they've come out with it. There will be regulations just the way you have on alcohol, gambling, driving, all of these things. There's an age limit. Social media will also have an age limit in some time. Social media also, pushes us to get in an echo chamber where we see, whatever we want to sort of start seeing. It's an echo chamber. If we see negative things, more negative things will come to us. If we see positive content, more positive content will come to us. And also this habit that everybody has of doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is essentially, once you start scrolling, it's bottomless. It never ends, right? So Twitter has actually deployed in their algorithm that you are updated. Now you don't need to read anymore, right? If you're reading on a topic, it says after 10, 12 articles, it says, no, you don't need to read anymore. But Instagram and Facebook don't have that. And it is the way it has been designed, it's a dopamine rush. The dopamine goes up and you cannot resist. It's as addictive as alcohol, cocaine, and sugar. And there's research that shows that now.
So my question was, do people really reach out for help to get out of this situation, or is it still not reached that level?
People do reach out. People reach out on social media to get out of social media, which is also the irony.
Yeah, true.
But people do reach out. People do reach out to, detox. It's called digital detox. And there are now restaurants where you have to leave your phone out. There are now, in fact, in my own house, when my father was around, we used to have this joke. We used to have digital detox with dad. So on the dinner table, no phones were allowed. You had to leave the phone away when you came to the dinner table every day.
Good.
Okay, Saloni, I have one more question. Suppose if I know of somebody who is like falling into those buckets of what you said, the three categories, is not able to sleep well, has got some anxiety issues. I mean, you can make out when you see that person, this person is not like how he or she was before.
Yeah.
So somehow you're able to put that person across through the community help group or whatever. And then this person doesn't know that there is some issue, some mental illness, which they have to go for counseling. Will the counselor be able to identify which category of mental illness this person is in?
Absolutely.
Like whether it is because of a relationship, work, or
yes,
whatever.
Absolutely, that's possible. And there are something called screeners, like a bunch of questionnaires, like a diagnostic test. No, you go for a blood test; it tells you this is high, this is low.
Right.
Like that, we have assessments and screeners through which you can identify if there is a certain particular issue. And you have a lot of those tests which are also done at a leadership level, right?
Okay.
Where you can get people to take those tests and you can then identify what is the psychological and perceived impression of the person by other people.
Okay.
There are lots of interesting tests like that.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. There is a very popular one, I think I can send. There are a lot of free links I can send it. It's a good exercise for everyone to do, where they classify you in 16 different personality types. So it asks you questions and it's a free test. I'll send it to you. You can circulate that in one of the newsletters or on email to everyone.
Sure.
Whoever wants to find out what is their personality type, they can, come to that.
I think Shan or somebody had initiated this kind of test earlier, but then we didn't take it across to everybody.
Yeah.
I think it was within a small group. Yeah, but I think it would be interesting.
Ma'am, are these sessions going to be recorded?
No, no sessions are recorded. These are private sessions. In fact, in group sessions, what we follow is something called Chatham House rules. Chatham House rules basically is that what is said here must be left here. You are committing to the group that you will not take the story out with the person's name. You may use the story if you want to by anonymizing it, but you will not, there will be no gossip, there will be no criticism, and the story will not be taken out and out of context. And that is a commitment you're making to the fellow, in the group, to other people as yourself.
Thank you.
Anyone else for any questions?
Hi, ma'am. Marita here.
Hi, Marita.
Ma'am, like usually, as you said, we can identify like if there is sleep disorder or work pressure or anything as such. So that happens with us where we can able to identify or like understand that there is certain different behavior going through. But how do we differentiate with the kids, like young kids or who goes to school, or like, I mean, do you have some kind of therapies for them as well?
Children of different age groups need different kind of attention. There are tests especially done for children to identify, because a lot of learning and developmental issues also that you need to identify, communication issues. Children have milestones. They have not reached a certain milestone by a certain age. Then there is a certain intervention that should be done. So with children, there is far more extensive work, and there are specialists who only deal with children. Like the therapists that we have who deal with children don't deal with adults, and vice versa. So with children, hyperactivity, lack of sleep again, there are different signs, and I'm happy to sort of get you to speak to an individual, any one of you who needs. For children, you can speak to the individual because it's a little bit more complex than this for adults.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Also with children, like early signs of autism, early signs of ADHD, you can see. And if you address it, if you help the child build a system around whatever is identified, then they will thrive in their life. Just the way, when we do our recruitments, if you ask a fish to climb the tree, the fish is always going to fail. So we have to set the child up for success. We have to set a system around them if any early issue is identified. And nobody will know, like nobody in their circle or their family will know that they have that issue if that system is set, right? Whatever that system is, of organization, of thinking, of therapy, it can be addressed very, very beautifully with children actually.
Hi, ma'am. Srinidhi here. So I have a small question. Yeah. So like because of family pressure or work pressure, sometimes people's mind gets blocked. Like they don't know how to do, what to do, and everything. So at that situation, can you give us any tips to overcome from that situation, ma'am?
Very interesting. Actually, we are writing a book right now called Flip the Story, where we are talking about some of these things, right? And as we discuss more and more, what we realized is everything boils down to two things: acceptance and gratitude. Are you grateful for what you have, or are you ungrateful for what you don't have? So, and the second thing is, are you accepting what your reality is, or you want another reality? For example, we can say, why am I here? Why am I not? When I look at Instagram, or like Mani was saying, some social media, I can see everybody's on vacation. These people are getting paid to, go to these beautiful places, and the hotels are calling them. They get free stay. What is this? I'm sitting and working here for 10 hours. This is my reality. Am I accepting it? Or am I constantly thinking of that? Because I'm not looking at the 500 people in my vicinity who are craving for a job and don't have a job, right? I'm only looking at the ones who are posting on social media, and they know their reality, that they don't have income consistently. but we don't realize we are grateful for consistent income. So ultimately, it is two things: are you accepting your current reality, and are you grateful for what you have? So bottom line is this: whether you go through it through spirituality, through counseling, through your friends and family, ultimately it boils down to these things. But the path and the journey is difficult. When our mind is blocked, it is blocked. It doesn't want to accept. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Saloni, hi, this is Saravnan here.
Hi.
And, hi. So I had a question. The question is like, today, the contemporary world which we live in today, this is more people accept, the society accept, and right. But a couple of decades ago, if somebody has this and or somebody is going through this trouble, so they would term as good as mentally there is something wrong with this person. So, yeah, right.
Right.
So you remember Deepika Padukone once came on the national TV and she said she was at the top of the things, but she was going through and she didn't know how to face it. So my question is like, since you are in this space now, what is the acceptance level in terms of society, in terms of family and friends and stuff like that? So what are the trends and how are people coping with that?
So, ultimately it is about ourselves. If we put on our oxygen mask first, then we'll be able to help anybody. Sure. So what the family and friends think, they don't even need to know. They don't even need to know. They will see that positive change in you. Right? And when they see that positive change in you, if they really love you, they'll be really happy. The ones who are in pain will come and ask you, what have you done? Just the way when you lose weight, you lose 10 kilos, everybody will ask you, Saruna, what did you do that you lost 10 kilos? I also want that.
True.
Right? When that joy radiates from you, when your functionality improves, right? When your own being improves, everyone around you will ask you, what have you done? I also want that, right? And what we say often is that it has to be attraction, not promotion. I don't have to seek consent from my friends and family if I have to do something for myself. If I'm bleeding, do I wait for my friends and family to say, you should go to a doctor and get bandage? If my hand gets burnt while cooking, do I wait for my friends and family to say you need to put burn oil? No, I reach for the ice or cold water and I soothe myself. The same way, I have to give myself permission. I don't think friends and family either will give me or won't give me permission. I have to give myself permission that I want that help. And if I want that help, I have a right to get it. It's not a crutch or an aid, right? Sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work. Not everything in life works, but I at least deserve to give myself that chance. And friends and family can see your pain, but they don't know sometimes how to help you, right? If you don't have the pain, you don't need it anyways, right? And people who love you will never stop you from relieving your pain.
Sure.
So I have one more question.
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends when this early days when the mobiles had come in and when we had this astrology. So know your daily astrology on phone and things like that. So one of my friend had got so addicted to just talking to somebody who is giving that daily update on how your day is going to be and things like that. So and their things started getting bad with her, and then even then she was like continuously listening. So it had become like a habit listening to it. So now again, this therapy, will it be like a habit if somebody is used to talking to somebody? Will it be a habit to come out of talking to somebody?
Therapists are trained for that.
Okay.
Often when you start finding that relief talking to a therapist, you start getting dependent on the therapist. The therapists are trained as part of their practice to wean you off that dependence. For example, we were just doing a review where we found that one particular person had taken 55 sessions. That therapist from her senior got a rap. I don't understand why. This was a junior therapist, right?
Right.
She said, I don't understand why someone has taken 55 sessions. You cannot let this happen. So, and that is why this is impact work, right? Because as much as I want that person to come forever, everybody in the team is trained that you have to stop and you have to fix the issue. You cannot let the person come beyond a certain number, right? You have to. It is a poor reflection on the therapist that she could not deal with the issue, right? It's a performance issue for that therapist.
Right.
So they are trained how to wean off dependence. And if they see that dependence is increasing, they often, then refer or call in a more senior therapist to ensure that, that issue is addressed.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is possible, and the other thing is also possible. It is called transference. That I love drinking alcohol, I'm addicted, right? I go to a therapist and I induce those feelings in my therapist. They also want to go and have a drink every day now. So they are trained for that also, how to take care of those kind of issues. Because these are human emotions, right?
Yeah.
There's transference.
Right.
I have
To be a little louder, Vishnupriya.
Yeah, hello. Hope my voice is clear.
Yeah.
I have one question. So, if the couple have married and one person is on another field and I'm in the IT field, so they have a different fields. They also have different kind of work. So they don't know what is the things going on opposite side and also our side. So in that time, some
Differences might come.
yeah, they not understand the situations if they have in the work time. We will be balancing our work time and also in the home. So in that times, some things it going on arguments. So how to overcome the things and how we have to realize our work balance.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for me to say what should or should not be done. And there are a lot of nuances to what might be happening, right? At the end of the day, there is a story in your head and there's a story in the other person's head. And those stories are not in sync. It's not in the same frequency, right? You're doing a jugalbandi, but it's out of sync. One is playing rock and roll and one is playing classical music. So how do you make it sound good? That is what the magic of therapy is. So that is work that needs to be done in the therapy room. Unfortunately, I'm not the best person to respond to that. But this is a common problem. 70% of the people who come only for this problem. 30% come for everything else.
Any more questions from anyone? Srilekha, any questions from you?
So I had question, but then it's kind of same question been asked by other people. So I think I don't have any question really to be. Thanks, Vismaya. Thank you so much. It may be a very simple, just trying to get the answer. Like, no, if people are not very clear about the goal set, right? No, maybe like because of the family pressure or because of the commitment. Maybe women are working without a goal or something because of, as I said, family pressure. They're working, or how could they identify the goal or how to set the goal, ma'am? If you want to say anything like that.
How to set a goal for themselves?
Yeah.
Well, I think again, like earlier we spoke, right? Like if we want to improve something in our lives, we know what we want to improve sometimes. If we don't know, then that's an exercise. But mostly we know what we want to improve. And it is about committing to that process. It's about discipline. It's about committing to that process. The goal sometimes there's just general unhappiness, and I don't know, there's unhappiness, I don't know what to do. That's another good time to speak to a counselor, because they help you streamline and understand what will bring that happiness to you, right? It is often not one event, but when we are in that pain, for us, we think it's one event, we think it's one destination. So they help you sort of, identify those goals for yourself. It's a process of discovery, and it's a process of discipline. So, that's what I would say.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I think I've taken a lot of time for everybody. I'm just feeling very guilty that I came 20 minutes late. My apologies. And I know everyone's off their, chairs, etc. So,
I think it was a very important issue that can get addressed. People are going to the therapist and getting the kind of treatment, if I can say, that is required. And this is not a topic which we have ever spoken, though it is there in everybody's mind in some or the other way. So I think thanks for at least enlightening us with the idea that we have help in case we want to avail it. So I think that is something that I was looking forward for the team, on behalf of the team. So I think you said it's going to start in the coming weeks, right? Next week or so.
So support groups have been opened. You can sign up for the support group. The URL was sent.
Yeah, I have
share it again.
Yeah.
And I've given you the pro bono therapy URL as well.
Right.
All you need to do is upload the what do you call the Desi Crew ID card if you want the pro bono therapy. I'll ensure that in the backend it's enabled. So this is pro bono therapy. You can just pick the date and time and you can book, right?
Okay.
So I can book for whenever, and this is free, right? This is completely free. Support groups are available here on our website as well. There are 8 support groups that we've started, right? For relationship issues, addiction, young adults, young women, young boys, young girls. This is addiction. This is for grief. If somebody has lost someone they love or something they've loved, something they loved. Trauma and caregiving. These are our support groups. These are open now. Anybody can join and sign up for this.
Okay. Sure. I was also thinking of introducing this during our inductions or during our mid-year reviews kind of a thing, so that people, if they have, if it is not said quite often, people may forget it. So we would reiterate that by saying that, okay, we have some help like this in case people want to avail it. So yeah, I hope we have the liberty to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you so much.
I think these have taken a lot of your time as well.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Your talk has given us valuable tools and perspectives to prioritize our well-being. Thank you for your dedication towards wellness and happiness. I'm sure our team is also going to follow it.
Yeah, I just hope all of you stay happy and healthy always. And that's my only wish to all of you. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is Mani here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add, I think the last 20 minutes we've been moving towards very serious note and life fantas and all of that. So I just want to lighten a little bit. I don't know how many of you guys are watching Netflix. Everybody's watching Netflix, but there is a series which is coming called Monk. I'm not sure how many of you have got a chance to look at it. Monk is the name of the lead character. He's a sort of a genius, but is a little quirky, essentially because he lost his wife. And that would have been 7-8 years back, and he would not be able to come out of that. And of course, he's a part of the police force, so he's a brilliant guy in detecting crime and all of that. So in the series, every episode, you'll have him solving any case. But reason why I'm mentioning this is it also has almost 20% of the content, which is a conversation between him and his therapist. So he goes to therapy and he almost explains a lot of things, but it's more like a funny way, much more than what I'm able to explain. But if you get a chance, please do take a look at the Monk, even one episode. Then it actually will become an addiction because it is crime detective and things like that.
Nice.
Okay. Yep. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saloni, for valuable inputs. And we were late, but we were discussing something else during that time, how to make DC Live a better platform. And thank you for making the time to be with us. I think it was supposed to be a half-an-hour session, but it was extended more than 1.5 hours. But I think it was very, very important, informative topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Saloni.
Everyone. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Over to you, Srilekha.
Thanks, Veena. Thank you so much. I think we planned for the half-an-hour session, though the session was half-an-hour delay, and we could see that lots of questions were coming up. Once they started, the many people were asking the question which is really linked to your real life. I think today's session was very useful, this special session, and thanks for other sessions from the centers which was given today for the DC Live anniversary. Thank you, everyone, and happy evening. We'll end the port with here. Thank you so much. So you're listening to DC Live. Stay tuned to DC Live. We care, we share, and we are on air.